think. All right. Yeah, we should be on. Hello, everybody. It is showtime. As you see, the gentleman on the screen there, that is Andrew from Funnelheads next to me. And below there, that is Mark from the Cruise World. Our featured guest was just off air chatting with us for about 10 or 15 minutes. Believe it or not, Cookie is on the glory. He is working and he has blessed us with the time in between shows that he's actually going to come on with us live and chat with all of us and with you. So put your questions in the comments there and put them in caps, or if you do a super chat, that's the easiest way to see them because then they light up in color and everything like a neon sign. So anyway, I was just telling Mark and Andrew before we came on. I'm kind of glad that he has to. He's doing a playlist production, and he has to either introduce the cast or mention them as they come off the stage. You know how that goes for you veteran cruisers out there. So that's what he's going up to do. And so the super chats for those people that are new, and I see we already have about 25 people in the chat. How that works is you see Sadie here. She is clawing all over my arm, my co-star here on my side. I have these chewy treats that takes her about 5 minutes or so to chew up. She's a big fan of those. So anybody that does a $10 super chat, she gets one of those treats. In the meantime, I give her like little tiny pieces of cheese and stuff to keep her from completely scratching away my arm. And then if you do a $15 super chat or more, I do a shot. You buy me a shot and you give Sadie a treat. And any super chat is appreciated, even $1. And how I try to give back to you, you see I have my little list of names right here. And Frankie Floyd, he's been great about being the first person to start things off. So, for example, Frankie, I'm writing his name down right now. And he is numbers 76, 77, and 78.
Oh, you're almost there, huh?
Yeah. So once we reach 100, I do I ask Siri on my phone to give me a random number 1 through 100. And whatever number she comes up with, I look on the sheet here and I tell everybody what their numbers are again before I do the drawing, just so there's no confusion. And so once we reach $100 in super chats, we do a shirt. So we are only 22 away after that first super chat from Frankie. And thank you for that, Frankie. Much appreciated. I see we have Christy, and I think this is Christy's first appearance on the Coach Cruise Live. And the reason I'm putting her up there is she is one of the Charlie's Angels. Her and her other two. Angie's here too. So we got 2 of the 3. We're just missing Nikki, and we'll have all 3. Oh, and there she is. We got all 3 of the Charlie's Angels here. Look at that. We got Nikki, Christy, and then we have Christy Curry here. Let me say hi to everybody before Cookie gets here. We got a lot of people here. We're up to 43 already. Just really quickly, if you could. And I messed up my screen here. Oh, there we go. Hit the like button. If you could hit the like button, that would be much appreciated. If you minimize the chat there, you can hit the like. So Z was here. Mike was one of the first here. Let me apologize in advance. I hope I'm saying this right. Apalila. I hope I said that right. I was asking Mark for help, and we both came to the same confusion. So we have Mike. Mike was one of the first in here. We had Rayleigh Travel. Fireball Steve is here. We got Will G here. Let's see. Ben is here. And Ben, are you off your cruise yet? Because Ben just posted on the Coach Cruise Facebook page. He was wearing a Coach Cruise shirt. We got Yoli here. We have Nick is here. What is going on? TNT's Adventures. Tex is here. What's going on? Tex and Texas in that drawing. We have Ann here. She's about ready to go on the Mardi Gras. We got Kevin B, who's going to be on the horizon with me in just a few weeks. And as far as chat goes, we're Christy Curry, I mentioned earlier. Anybody else new be sure to put your name in the chat. Kimberly is here. Hello, Kimberly. You might be new to the show, so if you are, we got Kenny K9 Bonzo. I got a K9 right next to me. Kenny, what do you think of that? Charlene Hawkins. Hello, I think you're new to the show. Much appreciated you being here. We got Bruce from Ocean Travel. He's going to be on right after me if you want to check out his show. And Nicole Saxton is here, and she's going to be cruising May 21st on the horizon. We'll try to keep it in one piece for you. John Mattingly is here, and Rhonda Sita is here. So for all of if you're just joining, Cookie is coming on. He'll be on here in just a few minutes. He was just on off air with Andrew and Mark and I, and we were just chatting away. He's in between shows. For those of you that have been on Carnival cruise ships, at the Playlist Productions, the cruise director is usually introducing and then making an announcement at the end of each of the productions. And so that's what he is doing right now. So he ran upstairs to take care of that. And then he's going to be on with us very shortly. And Sherry just jumped in. Hello, Sherry. So while we have a few minutes, I wanted to give Mark and Andrew a chance to talk about their channels. And Andrew's actually on the Carnival Magic right now, for those of you that have been to Carnival Magic. So since you're actually on a cruise ship, and we're jealous of you right now, Andrew, why don't we let you start it off?
Yeah, well, so sorry if it gets loud at times. There's, of course, all the live music going on behind me. I'm on the promenade at the moment, right near the hot tub, so we'll enjoy that hopefully one night this week. But it's been amazing so far. We got on Sunday. Literally check-in time was 10 to 10:30. We showed up at port 10:30, and we were on the ship ready to roll at 11. Room was ready. Of course, we dropped all of our stuff off and then just left to get out of the way. But it's been amazing last couple of days. The cruise is just going to go by like that, like they always do. But weather's been perfect, and we love the Dream Class ship. So this is the final one that we needed to go on to kind of complete the Dream Class, since we've been on the Breeze and the Dream. So absolutely loving the vibe, and yeah, it's been great thus far. So excited to talk to Cookie. Have not cruised with him yet, but really looking forward to scheduling a cruise with him in the future. It just hasn't worked out, even though we actually do look at that, like who is the cruise director, and we kind of try to plan it. Around who's going to be there, but again, it just hasn't worked out with him. But excited to get to know him just a little bit more. So
very cool. And Anne, who I just put on the screen there, she was on the Magic with me. Did both bar crawls that we did. And look at this, Yoli has jumped in here, and I'm gonna write you down, Yoli. And that's enough to get me a shot and Sadie a treat. And I definitely appreciate that. Big high five for Yoli. And I will get my shot going here. So the Magic's a great ship, and we're jealous. And I'll be back on the Magic in August, so I'm looking forward to that. Now, Mark, we'll transition to Mark here, because the good thing about Mark has been on a cruise with Cookie, and not only has he been on a cruise with Cookie, but go check his interview out with Cookie after you watch this interview with Cookie. We have Mark with an exclusive interview with Cookie. So yeah, Mark, why don't you tell us about the cruise world and the interview with Cookie?
Thanks, Brad. Yeah, so my wife Stephanie and I, we have a channel here on YouTube called The Cruise World. And one of the things we like to do is ship tours. We also do vlogs. I do silly parody songs all about cruising. And of course, one of the things we love to do is talk to crew members like Cookie. And we've interviewed Lee Mason and Donkey and Savannah. So we love to sit down and chat just like we're going to do tonight. The cool thing about this venue that you've brought us, Coach, is the ability for everyone to ask questions of Cookie. So definitely after tonight, if you want to see the interviews with those other cruise directors, check out our channel. We have a lot of fun. But tonight, get your questions ready because Cookie's going to be live, and you're going to be able to ask him any questions you want here. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because, and I know this is going to be one of the hot topic questions. And Sherry and Kevin, I definitely saw that, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. But one topic, and this is from corporate, that we really don't want to discuss is, I know everybody's like so super curious about, who's going to be the cruise director, the Jubilee, and everything. That's not a topic that we're going to discuss tonight. And so yeah, so I mean, just I know that's a big a big question and everything. That would be one of the hot topic questions or whatever. But because there are so many great cruise directors under consideration, that they don't want that to be a topic of discussion to kind of create controversy or something like that. So hopefully everybody's understanding of that. But most everything else would be up for discussion if you want to put questions in the comments. Just things like policy, that would only concern Carnival. Obviously, cruise directors don't have control over certain Carnival policies and things like that. So, Cookie wouldn't be able to give his opinion on that and that kind of thing. So now that you have that in mind, I have a second shot I have to get to here in just a second. But the thing is we've reached our 100, and Kevin, let's see, you are 14 through 23, and Sherry, you're 1 through 13 for the second shirt giveaway. Let's give away this first shirt before Cookie comes on. Let me read through all the numbers. Angie, one of the Charlie Angels here, we have is 1 through 7. Joni S is 8 through 12. Christy Curry, 13 through 32. Fireball Steve, 33 through 42. Frankie F, 43 through 45. Tim G, 46 through 55. And hi, Tim, by the way. Tex, 56 through 75. Frankie again, 76 through 78. Yoli, 79 through 93. And then Sherry, 94 through 100. And then Sherry, again, you're starting off the next round. You're also numbers 1 through 13, but 94 through 100 for this one. So, Siri, give me a random number 1 through 100. The number, if everybody can see that, is 13. And that is Christy Curry. She had numbers 13 through 32. Joni S had 8 through 12. You missed it by just 1. So Christy Curry, congratulations. And she is in the chat. So send me the shirt color or the shirt that you want. And we'll take care of you there. And then again, thank you, Sherry and Kevin. And truthfully, honestly, that support means so much. It allows us to get bigger and better equipment. I got to talk with Mark about getting some better video equipment because he's like the all-star of video. And to be honest, it's crazy, but you look at some of these videos and Mark or Andrew could tell you, you could have a video that's been watched 25, 30,000 times. And then you look at how much revenue it's generated for you, and it's like $13. So like some of my best videos will get me like 10 or 30. So these super chats are so appreciated. They really are the bulk of anything I make in the month. So it's much appreciated. So Andrew, Mark, any more thoughts, things you want to discuss with Cookie or upcoming cruises, anything like that?
I'm sure we'll get to it. It's just one of the things for anybody out there in the chat who hasn't had the chance to cruise with Cookie yet. He is a ball of energy. He is moving and going all the time. And what's crazy is he states that he's a shy person. I got to tell you, you would never know it with your cruise with him. But he's just a great guy. He encourages everybody to call him Cousin Cookie because once you sail with him, you're family. And he's just one of those guys. And I think, Andrew, you said that you kind of look at the cruise director schedule when you get ready to book a cruise. And I think that's something very unique with Carnival. I don't know if anybody does that with any other cruise line, right? But Carnival has such iconic cruise directors, and Cookie's definitely one of the best. So looking forward to chatting with him again.
Well, you know what? We have Cookie, and he is ready. And let me just tell you, before I get him on here, him and I were messaging back and forth because there was some confusion about times because the ship changed their time and this and that. And so we wanted to make sure that we were aligning our time so he could come on. But, you know, when I first asked him about doing this interview, you know, I thought he was on vacation. And he's obviously working on the Carnival Glory right now. And then he's going to have like a week off and he's going to jump right back on the Carnival Horizon. So he is doing this out of, you know, just a big heart and it was super appreciated. And so let's get him on here. The man of the hour. There he is. There's Cookie.
Hi, everyone. How y'all doing?
We are doing great. And we're doing even better now that you're here with us.
I confused the living mess out of both. I was even confused trying to explain what was going on to you. Yeah. Honestly, I don't even know who invented daylight savings time. I know it was for the farmers, but I've lost an hour of sleep and lost my mind this whole cruise already. Because I was trying to explain to you 6 o'clock and I was here at 5 o'clock, but we're here now. It's all good. What's going on, everyone?
I tell you what, we and you know, it worked out great. I mean, I got to go get through all the mumble jumble that, you know, I have to get out of the way. So you didn't have to sit here and listen to all that stuff. And we can just get right to the good stuff. And that's you.
Wow.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, there's at least 4 people in the chat. Well, there's a lot more in the chat that I know are going to be cruising with you soon. Like I said, I've known about you for forever and just somehow not gotten to cruise. So I'm so pumped about going on the Horizon April 1st and getting a chance to see you do your thing.
It's going to be a good time. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to jump right into this and I'm going to ask you a question here.
Okay, go ahead.
This one's a pretty simple one, I think. Now, here's the thing. When I'm on a cruise ship, I mean, obviously my name is not Coach, but everybody calls me Coach. So
have you ever been a coach?
I still am a coach. I'm a high school teacher and coach. So that's the coach part. I put 2 passions together, my passion for coaching and being a teacher and a coach, and then my passion for cruising. So that's how the Coach Cruise came about. But everybody on the ship,
what do you coach?
What's that?
What do you coach?
I'm a high school boys basketball coach for 20 years. And then I'm now coaching girls flag football also, which I coach some college men's football as well. But
okay, I played baseball in college. So yeah, that's why.
Oh, very cool. What position?
Yeah. I play right field and sometimes I play left out. But either way, I was on the team. That's all that matters.
That's right. That's right. You suited up. So the thing is, you know, my given name is Brad, right? So do you prefer to be called Cookie? Like, does your given name sound like something like who's that? You know, when you're on a cruise ship, if anybody calls you by your given name, or, you know, what are your thoughts on that?
It is weird. This is how I identify people who know me since I've been Cookie Dough, just a little baby in Carnival, versus who know Cookie. Anyone that knows me by Jonathan, I know they've been cruising with me since I was Fun Squad, because no one really calls me Jonathan anymore. And Cookie, I kind of love it because it's a name that I was given from my big brother Everson and the Carnival family here. We all had to work for our identities back in the day. You had to earn your keep, and if you got a name, you were solidified. You were like on top of it. So Cookie came from being in with my girl Jen Baxter in Australia, and yeah, it's a name that my best friend and I, Sonny, we got Cookies and Cream, but he retired, so it was just Cookie. Yeah, and then the good Reverend Dr. E was the first one to give me my name tag that said Cookie, so it's something I'm proud of. So I don't mind it at all. I love it actually.
Is there a story behind Cookie, like how the nickname came about, or?
Yes. So when Sunny and I, Sunny's from England. When we were Fun Squad, this is way back in 2014, 15. We used to have to open the nightclub. So we had all the guests call in to the morning show with DJ names. And they were calling with Ebony and Ivory. And then someone called and said cookies and cream. And we ran with it. And the club was so packed that night. We kept shouting it in the DJ booth. So we ran with it for the whole cruise. And then the next cruise, it just kept going on and on. So we kept it for a while. And then we eventually went separate ways. And then I kept Cookie. And then it just became a thing. And then a show called Empire came out. And then there was Cookie Lions, which made me even more famous because everybody kept calling me Cookie Lions. And then, yeah, it just, Cookie was born. The real life Cookie. Cool. I'm a Matt Mitchum, Jamie D. Love child, should I say.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, and I know Mark has interviewed you before. So, Mark, do you have a new question for Cookie?
Well, I do have one. I'm looking at your shirt. I'm just wondering, did you just introduce Getaway Island? Is that what you guys have on stage tonight? So
I just took it off. Yeah.
You're a theater major in college. You love the theater. So what is your favorite playlist production that Carnival has?
You know what? I am on the Vista class ships, which a little bit updated shows came out. I love Celestial Strings, but I have a true heart for the original playlist shows, 2.0 shows that came out. And on this ship, I just saw last week, it's called Epic Rock. It's probably one of those. It's up there with America Rocks, but Epic Rock to me is a classic. And I hope they never get rid of that show. It's all the greatest hits from Journey, Bon Jovi, Queen. It's just a really great show. So yeah, Epic Rock goes down. And Motor City. I love the Motown show. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Hey everybody in the chat. Oh my God. Hey Asen. Oh my God, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah. Yeah. Andrew, did you want to have a question next?
Yeah, so I have a question. I know I heard somewhere that on port days you really don't usually get off because you like to rest a lot of times, deservedly so. But do you have a favorite port that you like to go visit? And a two-parter, is there one place in the world that you would love to go to if money and time were no object? And where would that be?
Let's see. One of my favorite ports, everyone knows because I'm talking about at my Fun Aboard, Fun and Short Talk, I have to say is Mahogany Bay, Roatan. A lot of people go to the beach that's right there by the ship, but there's this beautiful place called Little French Keys. It's an animal rescue sanctuary island, and it has the most beautiful water, sand, and you get to hold the jaguar and the monkeys and the panthers there. So that's one of my favorite destinations. If I could go back to do anything, when I was on the Carnival Vista, we had two home ports. We had Barcelona, Spain, and Athens, Greece. Oh man, this is a tough one. Oh man, I would love to go back to Greece only because it was just a great time in Greece. Plus, it was an overnight for us, so all the team members got to go out and go to a restaurant, and we went to like church at 2, 3 in the morning. And then Sydney, Australia. Sydney, Australia is if you ever get to cruise out of Australia, it'll blow your mind. Completely different. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, real quick, I'll tell you what. I posted this link on a few cruise pages, and I posted it on the Glory the 12th through the 19th. You're on there next week, correct?
Not only that, they have Cookie. They're getting the new and incoming cruise director, Amber, as well. So we're in what we call a handover week that week. So Amber will come in. She'll watch me this week, but I'll put her to work a little bit. Just, so she can have her nerves down a little bit when I leave her on the 19th. So yeah, I'll leave on the 19th, and then the next Sunday I'll be back on the horizon that fast. So yeah,
very cool. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was involved in the chat there, and people kept debating, saying, he's not on the Glory, and I'm like, he's on the Glory now, and I didn't tell
I'm here.
Coach Cruz. I was just had my normal name, Brad Dowling, and I wanted so much to say, well, he messaged me, so I'm pretty sure that he's gonna, I'm pretty sure he's on there. I was like, if you go to his cruise page, he put out a whole video and everything. But I'll tell you what, I couldn't convince people that you were gonna be on there. next week. But I'm sure everybody is very happy to hear that you're going to be on there next week.
Crazy enough, I was on vacation, but I cut it short to help out my brother John so he can go on vacation. I didn't mind. I was only here for 3 cruises, but the best part about it, I got to experience my very first Mardi Gras in New Orleans. So I came down a couple of days earlier before I jumped on the ship, and I have to say I love Texas. My Texas people know I love them. I love Miami, but something about this New Orleans crowd, baby, they just take you in. I guess this is because I started in Louisiana for my very first time on Carnival, 2014 on the Dream. So I feel like when I come back to Louisiana, I feel like although they make me say go Tigers every group for St. Jude, and I get in trouble by my Alabama family, but I love Louisiana as well. So
yeah, and the food, you can't beat the food down there. That's one of my favorite parts to go out of, just because the food is just to die for.
I packed nothing but elastic. All my wardrobe is elastic because I knew what I was going to be eating every Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, well, here's one that might stump you a little bit. You might have to think on this one a little bit. But my second question is, what have been the 3 biggest personal moments for you while being a cruise director with Carnival?
Ooh. Number 1, I would have to say the entire startup after the pandemic. It was so many of us who were ready to get back to work, but they only selected a first set of people to start it off. It was myself, Donkey, Jim Baxter, and Kendall Fire, 3 of the other greatest. And it was just an honor to just start up in Galveston, Texas. It was a process, but it just humbled us even more just to know where we had to start from. Another personal great moment is, as a cruise director, I used to love the just fame and just be the person that they get to see on the ship. But after the pandemic, I believe I just love being a cruise director because I want people to understand we have to start living in the moment and start appreciating life. And in a world that's so negative, I now use my platform instead of fame is just to bring this world together. I honestly just want everybody to come on vacation, look around this entire ship and see all different nationalities and just be okay with everything around them and just say, you know what, it's not as bad as the world makes it out to be. That's another personal great moment I get to use as my platform. Just, try to bring a little love to everybody because everybody know I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. And lastly, I must say, the third one I would have to say, I grew up under some amazing cruise directors: Matt Mitchum, Jamie D, Mike Pack, Steven Schwartz, Jim Baxter, Dr. E, so many, and I used to look up to them, and it's now weird because I consider myself a veteran or old. Now I got all these rookies looking up to me and reaching out for me for help and all this. The same thing I used to go through. So it's a good feeling knowing that I get to pass on the generation of cruise directors for the up and coming in the next couple of years. So that makes me very proud that they've poured all into me. So now I can share that gift with the up and coming because they are the future of Carnival. So, and great things are coming our way soon. So yeah, those are the 3 biggest things for me in my personal life right here for Carnival. So, yeah.
Very cool. Before we, Mark, we get to your next question. For those of you in the chat, if you have a question, if you could put it in all caps. I mean, we're getting a lot of comments up there, which is awesome. It's easier to see if it's in all caps or, if you do happen to do a super chat, it lights up in colors and stuff like that. So that definitely sticks out if you really, really want a question. But yeah, Mark, take us to the next question.
Yeah, so Cookie, you provided a nice segue for me. I know you've been busy, so I'm not sure if you saw that the Cruise Mummy on her webpage recently posted the top 10 Carnival cruise directors of all time. And having cruised with you, it was no surprise to me that Cousin Cookie was pretty high up on the list. Have you seen this or no?
I have, and I was so shocked.
But you're like you just mentioned a bunch of people, right? Some of the greatest of all time, obviously John Heald, but your friends Matt Mitchum, Dr. E, Jen Baxter, you're right up there with the best of all time in the company that has the best cruise directors. How does that make you feel?
Man, you know what? I'm still laughing because I'm like, y'all, I was just telling Coach Cruz that I still feel like a rookie in this game when it comes to all. I feel like the baby and the bunch, myself and Kendall. We're like I think the freshest ones on the list. But it was just such an honor like of everybody. And I'm trying to tell you, I've worked with some amazing, I'm talking about all the way back to Wee Jimmy, Malcolm Burns. I've worked for some of the greatest in this company. And for me to be on that list, only being a cruise director for 5 years, going on 6, I was just brought to tears because Jamie D was the one that sent me the message, and I was just in awe. And Chris the Flying Scotsman had hit me up, and we both just congratulated each other. Like it's an honor. It's a beautiful thing. Like, you know, to be up there, I'm like right under my Uncle John. So yeah, well, he calls me Biscuit. He don't call me Cookie. He calls me Biscuit.
So we covered the story in a video on our channel as well, and I asked for people to put in their in the comments their favorites, and it's Cookie all over the place. I got to tell you,
man. I love people. People know I honestly. We don't get to see her. You know this because I told you this, Mark. We don't get to see our family for almost 6 to 9 months at a time. My mom's gonna kill me because I try to keep in contact with her throughout my cruises. But when we get you all to come on board, we literally latch on because it becomes home and it becomes family. And people know if you cruise me, everybody gonna be cousins. So if you need $5, let me borrow it, baby, because I need it. So yeah, it's just a family vibe around here.
Very cool. Andrew, did you have a question ready there?
Yeah, I would. You actually mentioned John Heald right before this. And so my question is, you know, I've seen you and John before on ships. You guys are hilarious together. I cracked up laughing, especially you guys on the bridge letting loose. So can you tell me like a favorite moment with John, or maybe a background story, or what comes to mind when you hear
John? I'll never forget this moment. And Matt Mitchum was just stirring the pot on this one. It was a Halloween cruise on the Carnival Vista. It was my first time ever meeting John Heald, ever. Matt's fiance at the time had this police woman's outfit, and I was a little about 40 pounds lighter then. He said, go put this on. I'm going to put John in this orange jumpsuit. So we're getting ready for the morning show. John and Matt are on stage, and then out of nowhere, he calls me to the stage, and John's mouth just dropped. And I've never seen this man speechless because I literally had on her police cop. And for those who know this story, who were there, they can witness. It was probably the funniest morning show. Like we were literally he was so serious, but we were all in tears just laughing. Like that's how we interact. And from that moment, he's literally taking me in. And it's like every time he sees me, he just embraces me. Like, so yeah, it was crazy, but that was probably the funniest moment we've ever had together.
Very cool. I got a couple questions from the comments here. The first one, when did the light bulb come on when you decided I want to be a cruise director?
Now, everyone who knows that come to my Q&A, the truth behind it is I never wanted to be a cruise director. I took this job and even Office knows this, to be a playlist performer. But for some reason, it's hard to lose weight on a cruise ship. I don't know why. But you know what? Carnival said, listen, you got personality, so we want to try you out as a cruise director. So they gave me a 3-day cruise on the Imagination in 2017. And I think I blew it out of the waters. And they told me, listen, you can either stick with this or keep fighting to be a dancer and a singer. And I think I made the best decision by becoming a cruise director. Like I tell people all the time, we have one plan, but God has the final say. And he wanted me to stand on my own and shine bright like a diamond. So I became a cruise director. And my sister works for Disney too. She's Princess Tiana. And then when she's not Princess Tiana, she has to dress like Goofy. So yeah. So that was a little inspiration.
Very cool. And then the next question is, what's your favorite theme night?
You know what? I'm that is so crazy because I'm sitting here thinking like, man, I love this 80s night, but I want to bring something more now. Like I want a disco theme night. I want to do like I've worked a lot of charter cruises. I have a heavy metal cruise that I work, and I did the Tom Joyner cruise, and they have some pretty awesome theme nights. They have a suit and sneakers on Elegant Night. So everybody wears suits, but they wear sneakers or a glitter ball. I want to see what the people want, because we're doing the old white night party. We're doing the 80s party, but I want to take it up a notch this summer. So yeah, whatever y'all want, let me know and I'll create it. We'll make some stuff happen.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. And we have another question here. what is your favorite food on Carnival? And if you do drink, what's your favorite drink?
I drink nothing but water. No. Everyone
that's not
knows
true.
I do a quality check for the guests at the Alchemy Bar every night we win. I have to make sure the drinks taste okay. Yeah, you know what? I have to say, I absolutely love the deal closer at the Alchemy Bar. If you like chocolate and you like sweet, but my favorite food, I'm very guilty for this because, as you all know, as cruise directors, we don't get to eat like a normal person. We have to wait to the end of the shift, like at 12 o'clock at night, to eat. So I always order room service, and I'm so guilty. And I try so hard to go to the gym, but the buffalo chicken wings and the firecracker shrimp call my name every night, and I'm just like. I would room service makes so much money off of me, but the steakhouse is absolutely amazing. But I was on the Mardi Gras. These new restaurants they're coming with, Shebang, sweet baby Jesus. I can eat in there every day. I think it's called Shebang, or it's called something bang.
Shebang, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing.
I'll tell you what. I made the same offer to Lee because I'm on the celebration in June. But since I'm on the horizon, I would happily my treat. If you'd like to go to the steakhouse, it is on me. You just let me know.
Don't do this. Listen, you will not spoil me and then go to Lee Mason because I'm going to be begging for you to come back.
Hey, I got no problem with that.
And give my brother Lee some love too.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, we just had the honor of having him on a couple. I'll tell you what, we had two of the top 4 greatest of all time on Carnival within the span of 2 weeks. I was like, it doesn't get much better for the Coach Cruise channel. I'll say that.
Yeah, Coach, do you have John Hill next week or?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm gonna have to have Cookie help us out with that one to get John on here next week.
We'll see if we can pull some strings around here.
That'll be good. And then Kevin asked, will you take a shot with Coach on the horizon? But I'll tell you what, I would rather do the tastings at the Alchemy Bar with you on the horizon. I'd be down for that. So
for sure. For
we
sure.
can
Listen,
take part.
You have a 6 or 8 day cruise.
It's an 8-day. Yeah, we're doing
even better.
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll arrange some time to have some family time together.
Speaking of one of your former ships, the Carnival Breeze, I just came off the Carnival Breeze, and a gentleman by the name of Lawrence was the cruise director, and he spoke very highly of you. He spoke of you as a mentor, and the question is, and he said some of the advice. Actually, I remember what he said. He said he asked you about advice about, when he was becoming a cruise director. And he said, look, there's only one Lawrence. This is what he said. You said, there's only one Lawrence. There's only one Cookie. There's only one, and you named a couple other cruise directors or whatever. You got to be you. And that was advice that he shared that you gave him that, he said helped him out a lot. Now, let me tell you, Lawrence is fabulous.
He is. He's up and coming.
I agree 100%. He is going to be one of the best within Carnival for sure. He definitely is a fabulous cruise director. But what does that mean to you? As a mentor, and then in addition to that, you kind of already mentioned it, but some people that were mentors for you, like you are for Lawrence, I guess I could say.
I'm still being mentored. I still get checked in by Jamie D. She still checks in. Matt still checks in. Everson and I talk all the time, like every day. For me, it's just one of those things where I just feel it feels great because we have a cruise director group chat on Facebook, and I tell them all the time, none of us stand alone. We do this together because it's not about us. It's about each and every last one of you that come in cruise. So if I'm shining, everybody's going to shine. We're all going to help each other to get to the top. We're all going to help each other to make the best experience for the guests because that's at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? You all stood beside us through one of the roughest times times in history, but y'all came back to home. Y'all supported us. So as cruise directors, we work together to develop and to deliver the best product for you all. Because we know what it's like in that real world that y'all live in. It's crazy out there. So like I tell my team, or like I tell my colleagues all the time, like, hey, listen, if there's anything I can do to help to elevate whatever your experience and make you feel comfortable in your skin, let's talk about it. Let's get through it. Let's have a vent session. Because we can't be other people's identity. And I tell people all the time when they cruise with me, I'm never going to change who I am to make somebody else happy. You're going to either love Cookie, hate Cookie, but at the end of the day, you're going to love Cookie because I have a personality that everybody just latches onto simply because I make you feel at home. And that's the biggest goal for me. I make you feel like you can be yourself. There's no judgment. And I just want you to enjoy life. So yeah, and I gave Lawrence the same advice and I give all the crew church the same advice. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. I forget who was what rotation I was in, but Mark, Andrew, or do you have a question?
Yeah, so Apalila actually took my question. Great minds think alike. I was going to ask you what your favorite drink on board was, but I was going to lead it in this way. Having cruised with you, one of the things that I noticed and really loved was my group was hanging out a lot at the Alchemy Bar. And after the shows were over, we'd see you and some of the other coworkers come in. And I think that's what really resonates. And Lee and a couple other cruise directors are the same way. We see you guys out there. And we really enjoy you as the cruise director on the stage, running the events. But then, like you said, it's about being a family, right? And to see you out there and to get to know you on a more personal level is what really resonates with the passengers. And so yeah, we saw you out there at the Alchemy Bar all the time. So I was going to ask you what your favorite drink is as well, but we know it's the deal closer. So I just wanted to say that's one of the things I really loved about cruising with you. And Coach, you'd be proud of this. Cookie said he played some baseball. If you saw this man play dodgeball, you would want to make sure you're on. You want to make sure you're on his team because he can whip that thing, man. I would not want to get hit by it.
Okay.
All right, I'm so aggressive. I'm such a crybaby on stage when people compliment me, and then I get in that dodgeball ring and I'm like, ah. I tell them all the time. In this moment, you're not guests, you're enemies, and I'm taking you down. I care nothing about it.
So the little kids are running for their lives, or you know?
Well, we don't put them in the lion's den. You have to be 18 and older for that reason, because these are grown adult babies out here, and they cry when they get hit, and they want to call timeout, and then they think we cheating. Everybody thinks my team is always cheating, and Mark, you know, I'm out there fighting for my life because everybody's aiming for me every time.
Yeah, you were aggressive though. I was impressed.
Yeah, very, very cool. I'll tell you what, you know, the teenager part doesn't bother me so much because there's a few teens that I wouldn't mind hitting with the dodgeball being a high school teacher. You know.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, next week I have 1,400 kids on board for spring break, and I'm super excited.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's going to be a handful. Yeah.
Pray for me, please.
Brad, when you're on Horizon, I want a full report from the dodgeball with you and Cookie. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm going to. Yeah, we're going to definitely get some good video, but I will try to get some video of Cookie whipping the dodgeballs. That'll be fun.
Another great sport I'm really good at, people don't know this, well, every now and then, I pop into beer pong because, you know, I'm from Alabama. This is what we do. This is how I pay for college. So I go by beer pong, and I have to show off my skills there. So I'm just all over the place when it comes to sporting events, except for beanbag. Beanbag, I'm horrible.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Andrew, you're up next here, my friend.
Yeah, so I know you mentioned that you sailed with Matt Mitchum and you were in Barcelona. So were you on the inaugural season of the Vista in 2016 on the Fun Squad, or when were you there?
That is so funny you bring that up, because to this day, which is almost 6 years later, they still bring this up between Marquez, Courtney, the inaugural team. They tell me that I was on the D team. I came later in the season. They were the startup team. So they brag about this all the time. So when they say, "Oh, were you on the inaugural?" they all look at me and laugh and go, "No, he was on the D team. He came late." So yeah, I wasn't on the startup team. But I tell you, it's so crazy that all of us are. Everyone from that startup team has literally grown up, is now either in the office or is my supervisor, or we're all cruise directors or entertainment directors. So we've all grown up since then. So yeah.
Very cool.
That's amazing.
Hey,
Other thing, can you just tell us a little bit about what you remember when you actually got notified that you were getting promoted to cruise director, or was it like a blur? Like, what can you tell me anything about that moment?
It was crazy because I was on the Imagination as Fun Squad. I received a phone call one night that said, "Hey, you're going in tomorrow, and good luck." No, like no warning, no nothing. They're like, "Hey, you're going in because we want to see how much you've been paying attention." I remember going to my room and just crying because I was so nervous. I was so nervous. And another great cruise director at the time by the name of Orlando called me and he said, "Listen, stop all that crying. You're going to be great. You're going to do fine. Just get out there and just be you." And I went out there and I probably had the best 3-day cruise of my life. And I had a very supportive team from a Fun Squad to the captain to everybody down. So it was a very successful story. But yeah, everybody knows Cookie. I'm a crybaby because I don't do well. I get nervous. I cry like, yeah. So yeah.
Well, real quick, thank you, Lito, Tito, and Tim. And Tim, here you go. Sadie, high five for Tim. There you go. So I have a question from the comments here, and that is, do you have one of the funniest moments you could share from the Love and Marriage show?
Now everybody knows when you come to Cookie's Love and Marriage show is a little bit different than the norm. It's one that sticks out. I always love picking on the oldest married couple, and I always have to ask him, what's the secret for a long marriage? And I'll never forget this one guest. I asked the lady first. I said, "What is the secret?" I think they were married for like 55 years. She said, "Just love and patience and to be kind and be understanding." So then I turned to him and I said, "Papa, what is the secret to 55 years?" And he literally said, without any hesitation, "She just won't die." And I was on the floor dying laughing. The older couple is always the funniest couple every time.
Oh, that is too funny. I think this is probably an inside question that you probably know. This is probably a setup, but I'm going to put it up here. Oh wait, hold on. There it goes. Is this a something that is curious if Cookie has a song he has heard one too many times?
First of all, hey Asen, this is my little buddy I've met on the Mardi Gras when I was there for training. Is there a song that I heard one too many times? Let me tell you, we keep that Cupid shuffle and that wobble on loop every 7 days a week. So yeah. My knees are worn out from Cupid and wobbling. Yeah. But it's so funny because the gentleman that made the Cupid Shuffle he reached out. He wants to do a Carnival line dance. He wants to create just a line dance just for Carnival guests. His name is Big Moochie, I think. So yeah, he's absolutely amazing. He cruises with Carnival all the time. But yeah, he's amazing.
Very cool. Very cool. This question is, I guess, a little in reality. Because I mean, when we go on cruise ship, everybody's in a better spirit because they're on vacation and they typically are in a better mood and things like that. Now, you were supposed to be on vacation, and I know the Glory was kind of an unplanned thing. But when you get back into the real world and you're on vacation for a bit, and you kind of see some of the attitudes and things like that aren't necessarily in vacation mode. Does that kind of motivate you to want to get back on a ship and like, let me just get away from this negativity and get back to where happy people are?
Let me tell you something. When they told me y'all were paying $8 a pack for eggs, I said I just rather stay here and eat for free. I don't want to go back to that world. That's ridiculous. You know what? People who know me from Texas, I used to get off the ship and go on I can't sit still. I worked at Carrabba's Italian Grill, so everyone knows I'm a busybody. I would get off the ship after a 5-month contract, and then I take a week break, and I'll go work at the restaurant to go see my friends in Texas. I don't mind it though. I love it, but then I get bored so easily because I'm so used to being so active. I don't know how to sit down and just rest. But I think I just love my job so much. I love just what I do. I like entertaining basically. So yeah, I definitely, but there are those, you get to that real world and you're like, ooh, this what's going on out here. So yeah, I feel so like disconnected when I come home because like I'm looking at everything on the news and what's going on around the world and in my neighborhood. I'm like, oh God, let me get back down to Florida real quick. So yeah, it's like that sometimes.
Very cool. Well, Ashley wanted to tell you that you're her favorite cruise director. So I wanted to share
Ashley, I love you. And whenever you cruise with me, Ashley, you can get a free cruise. Ship on a stick. I see you.
And then let's see, where did Anne go? There she is. Anne loves the adult scavenger hunt. Is it back on all ships? Are you talking about Quest, Anne, or is there an adult scavenger hunt?
She is. That's all y'all know it as. That's the Quest. And yes, okay. It is back. And yes, I hosted one last week. And now I realize why John Hill said I will never host it again. So yes. For those on that TA crossing on the Vista, understand the inside on that one. That was a wild one. That was a wild night too. That was a good one actually.
Real quick question. This might be a tough one to think through here because you've been on a bunch of ships. What ship or two stands out as one of your favorites, and is there any particular reason why it might be a favorite?
I always get this question. I always tell people your first ship is always your first love. I had the Carnival Dream as my very first contract. Beautiful ship. And it was out of Louisiana, so I could walk everywhere. And I think we were docking on Saturdays, so it was nice to get to the stores. So I love the Dream. And the Vista. The Vista is the ship that I grew into Cookie. That's who the Vista, being working with my brother, took me and molded me. And and then the Liberty, the third one, because that was the first ship I had as cruise director on my own. So that was in that order. So my first love, the one that created me, and the one that just made me cruise director. So yeah.
And you know the thing was, and I didn't mention this, but we did cruise together. You just weren't a cruise director yet because my wife and I did a Mediterranean cruise in 2016 when the Vista was doing the European Mediterranean cruises. We started in Athens, Greece, and we ended in Barcelona. That was our cruise,
yes.
Whatever. But that was an amazing Mediterranean cruise or whatever. So I have cruised with you, but not when you were in the full spotlight as you are now.
Yeah, you were with me when I was just Cookie dough.
Yeah, exactly. Not the full-fledged Cookie. Yeah. So, well, Mark, you got another question ready there?
Yeah, so we kind of touched on this. We talked about the ships and I believe the ports you've sailed out of most as a cruise director are New Orleans, Galveston, and Miami, right? So I mean, I don't want you to offend anybody from any of those particular cities, but pick one. What's your favorite of those cities to sail out of? Sorry about that.
You want the truth? Don't even apologize because they know. I'm going to have to say, and I love everybody. Y'all know I do. But it was something special about Galveston after that pandemic. I've never received, and I'm going to be honest, I actually was crying because I did have Texas. I wanted to be in my, I'll never forget, I was on the phone with my boss and I was like, please, I was begging to go back to Miami because I had a thing for Miami. I was like, I want Miami or New Orleans. I don't think New Orleans is up and running, so it was an option between Galveston and Miami, and they said, no, you're going to go to Texas. This is my first time as cruise director out of Galveston, and I was so nervous. yet again crying, and I didn't get my way. And it turned out to be the biggest blessing of my life being out of Galveston for a year. And I've made so many connections. I've made so many new family members. And that Texas love is none like it. Y'all spoiled me in Galveston, baby. If I gotta get a tugboat to be back in Galveston, if I gotta be on LiPo number 7, I'm coming back to Texas someday. Y'all look for me.
Tim has a question. Were you on the Vista in July 2018?
If this is the cruise where Matt set me up and left the ship and he told me that the engine was broke the day he was at the airport and didn't tell me, then yes, that was me. Because that's also another, the engine had just went out and people started automatically, y'all started thinking automatically Titanic. And he made me deliver the news to the guests as he was leaving to go do his thing. And oh my God, that was a day. But yeah, I think I was on there during that time.
Christy asked, will the talent show come back?
I think we're working on some things here for Carnival. We're bringing a lot of new things here coming your way this upcoming year, in the upcoming years as well. The one I was telling guests, I think I want to bring back, I want the Legend show to come back. I would love to see you all entertain us again. Plus that whole process from singing from karaoke to rehearsing with the band and dancing with the singers, dancers and singers in the background. That was a fun show to do. I love lip sync battle, don't get me wrong, but that Legend show was like legit, like the funniest thing ever. So yeah.
Yeah. I was actually on that one way back with my man Felipe. I was Garth Brooks in the Legend show, and it was cool, like you said, because you try out at the karaoke, you get selected for it, and then you do a little bit of choreography with the playlist cast. I would love for them to bring that back. It was a great time.
I know. I was Dolly Parton, Beyonce, and Elvis. I'll never forget. I've done all three.
And well, I've seen you do Tina Turner too, and you did that pretty good, Cookie.
Yes.
Hey, Andrew. Ooh. Did you have another question ready?
Yeah. Do you have like a special moment that comes to mind with a guest that just automatically pops up when you think about that?
Oh, you know what? We always have special moments. The ones that are near and dear to me is when I'm able to. I have this really special guest. Her name is Emily. She's a St. Jude patient, and she comes to cruise with her brother. She calls me her brother, Cookie, and just the pure joy she gets to be with her family, and just those are very special moments for us as cruise directors. We know that our job is to impact lives, and just to be able to just see pure joy from somebody who we know is fighting and dealing with their situation. So those are always going to be special moments for us, and I just love it. And I love her and her entire Renee, Emily, her mom, Kim, like the dad. Everybody's just so nice. So yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Cookie, if you could fast forward to the horizon, because I don't know if obviously there's going to be different shows and things like that. Mark kind of asked this question earlier, but on the horizon, 3 of my favorite shows throughout the Carnival fleet just happen to be on the horizon. I love Celestial Strings. Celestial Strings is just like one of my favorites for forever. And I've seen it like 7 times. I know you've seen it probably like 700 times, but
have you seen it on the Mardi Gras class though?
Yes. I have.
Right there.
I just love it in the open. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I love vintage pop, and I love Soulbound as well. But my question, I know you mentioned Epic Rock earlier, but you see these shows all the time. What are 3 shows that you never get tired of seeing? Like you've seen them, 100 times and you still enjoy the production or the costumes or whatever it is that it might be?
Although we see them all the time, the beautiful part about it is it's a different cast. So like I can go through 2 casts in one contract, and I get to see different vocal ranges and different levels of dancing. But Celestial is on that list for sure. I'll never get tired of watching Epic Rock. And I'm an 80s baby, but I feel like I should have been born in the 70s. Studio VIP, where we get the guests involved in their show. I'm a disco era kind of kid. So yeah, even when I was 8 years old, my mom used to buy me the Disco Now CDs back in the day. So yeah, I'll be at my little CD player. And so I love Studio VIP. I can watch that one all the time. Oh, and Flick.
Really?
I used to love doing the pre-show for Flick when I used to bring the guests in as celebrity guests and interview them on the red carpet. Oh, that was the funniest bit of the whole show. But Flick is a very beautiful show. It's beautifully written. So yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I know I gave you like 4.
And you have done some work on the Mardi Gras as well, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did you think about some of those shows?
I couldn't take my eyes off of Center Stage. I just love the whole Center Stage. I did go to Rock Revolution, but I love now that we've added the airless shows into Center Stage. My personal favorite was the Mardi Gras. The fact that I got to host a Mardi Gras party on that stage, and WorldWorks. WorldWorks is a beautiful written into the cruise show because it involves not only the cruise director, but the housekeeping department, bar staff. Every department is involved in this last show. So yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Absolutely. Mark, did you have another question already?
You kind of covered it by saying you might just go back to work at Carrabba's or something, but I know you cut your vacation short here and you're going to be back on Horizon. Then you'll have a small break in between Horizon contracts, right? Do you have anything planned? Like, are you going to go on vacation anywhere during that downtime, or what do you plan on doing?
Let's see. A good friend of mine, old cruise director who I'm super excited for, his name is Steven Schwartz. He will be getting married in August, and I cannot wait. We love when Carnival cruise directors get married because it's like a little mini family reunion for all of us to show up. Yeah. We also, in May, we're going to have our cruise director conference. We haven't had one since 2018. It's an opportunity for all the cruise directors to get a chance to just be in Memphis, Tennessee at the St. Jude Research Hospital. We get a day of play with the kids. We get to work on new activities and things. So, but for this upcoming fall vacation, I'm going to travel overseas, I believe. I'm going to go to Italy, Paris, and Montenegro. So I'm going to do the Europe for a while.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's the beauty of working on ships, right? We get to make and meet new family members. So I'm going to meet my old entertainment director over in her country, and we're just gonna have a great time and just enjoy life. So yeah.
Is that the Montenegro stop?
Yes, Milena, who was with me on Horizon. I think you were there when I was with my girl, Baby Jane.
Yeah, Baby Jane was there.
I've
Montenegro is a beautiful country, so I don't know if you're going to the capital of Podgorica, but it's an amazing place. Have a great time there.
Okay, good. Because she said I would have a great time, but I had to verify. So you verified it for her.
Oh yeah.
Real quick, Cookie, before we get to Andrew's question, have by chance you been the cruise director when a playlist performer Priscilla Vargas has performed?
Oh yeah.
I love her. Her voice.
Priscilla and I were together on Horizon. She is, her spirit alone is just beautiful. The entertainment industry is so small. For those who know my story, I graduated from college and I moved to Amarillo, Texas, where I was in this off Broadway called Texas. But Priscilla's best friend was in the show with me. Fast forward, I meet Priscilla, and then we're in conversation, and then we put 2 and 2 together that they're best friends. So it is, yeah, I love that girl. She's so amazing.
She is so talented. Her voice is so. I'll tell you what. For those of you new to Coach Cruise, I saw her on the Horizon last year. I did some vlogs, and I filmed her, just short little clips. But I have short little clips of Priscilla in action. You need to go see those clips. The girl has, she has, she can sing. She is so good, so good.
She's amazing.
Yeah, Andrew, What do you got for us?
Yeah, so you touched on, you had like a cruise director Facebook group chat, which I thought was really cool. That you gotta, give each other help and ideas and boost each other. Is there any like friendly competition that you guys have through that? And if so, kind of.
It's so funny because the generation before us, the Jamies and the Matts and the Everson, they would literally email each other and message each other about who's number one or who's number two. I think with our generation, we were just more so focused on just making sure we knew our job and how to do it. So we figured out, let's help each other do it. Kind of like how people, influencers do on TikTok and stuff. We figured we'll help each other get through it. In the group chat, literally is all questions and everybody has a way to do it. So then you just go through that and it's like so much support. I think we have a very supportive generation of cruise directors, but the Jamie D's and the Matt Mitchells and the Everson and the Jim Baxters, they did a little fun. They were very friendly competition. But what's crazy is people try to pin us up against each other and say, well, I like this cruise director better than that. So, and I like this. And we go, well, listen, we're all friends. We're all family. So we know what each other bring to the table. So to us, we laugh at it because we're just like, yo, we think it's so funny. But I don't think nothing can turn us against each other because we're all just here to have a good time at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. And, that's an excellent point, Cookie, because you see that. And I'm sure Mark and Andrew have seen that. We've been on multiple cruise pages and things like that. And anytime the conversation comes out about a cruise director, it's like you all are like somebody's favorite band or something, and they're fighting.
Right.
My band is better. No, Cookie's the best. Oh, this person's the best. This, and it's like it's
crazy.
And you all are like the closest of friends, yet they're all fighting like, it's the Green Bay Packers.
Just sit and read and laugh together. Myself, Schwartz, Leon, and Nono all lived together during the pandemic. Kendall and Aaron came and stayed with us for the weekend. Like, it's just such a family vibe. Like, we would literally open up Facebook and just sit and read the messages and just sit back and laugh. We're like, y'all, it's entertaining for us. Like, we just like to laugh at. Like, we don't even see competition. We're like, okay, well, it is what it is.
And Will just asked a question. I don't even know if there is a date yet, but obviously the talk now is Kendall and Elo Joey getting together. Did they even set a date? I know they just got engaged. I don't know if they.
No, I don't think they set a date, but little does Kendall know. I knew she was getting engaged because Joey showed me the ring. Joey and I had a heavy metal cruise at the beginning of February. My Shiprock family, shout out to y'all. And Joey was there and he was like, yo, I'm about to do something crazy on my vacation. I was like, yo, what country are you going to? He was like, no, something else. And he pulled out this ring and I was like, huh? And I knew he was like, you better keep your mouth closed, Cookie. And I was like, done deal. So I knew the whole time. I just couldn't tell Kendall. And I knew it was burning me. But when it happened, I was like, I'm so excited. They deserve it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah. Let's see. Mark. Oh wait, question. Yeah. Anybody else have any new questions in the comments? I hope I didn't miss any. I've been trying to reach them all. But Mark, did you have another question?
I actually didn't have another one prepared, Cookie, but I just wanted to thank you for all that you do. I did want to kind of you related that with the cruise directors as a family. I think it is kind of funny though how you said people pit against each other. It's kind of like a lot of sport or a lot of athletes, right? That play on different teams, so people want to pit them against each other, but off the field they're all friends, laughing about it like you guys are, right?
We really do.
I said this to Brad and Andrew. I don't know if you were in the green room down below and heard it, but Carnival has the best cruise directors. There's hands down. It's the only cruise line I know of that people like Andrew, myself, and Brad will actually try to select a cruise for the cruise directors that we love to sail with. And you all bring something different to the table. That's what you alluded to. And we just love you guys. And thank you for all that you do.
No, thank y'all. And thank y'all for being just the family that we need to support us every step of the way. It's not every day you get up and have a job where we make a connection. And it's not that, and I say this at my VIFP party, You all literally watch us grow up throughout the years, and y'all keep in contact. You support us, you love us. So thank you to every cruiser who cruises with Carnival. Thank you to everyone for supporting every cruise director and this cruise industry and this cruise line. And not only just the cruise directors, but every ship, the team members, and more. So we love y'all. We really do. So thank y'all.
Very cool. And Macrina Elizabeth Holder says, sorry I got here late, but we'll never forget Cookie explaining his life during the pandemic. Love you and continue to wish you the best.
I love you.
And
they
Nikki
know.
Says, Nikki's one of a group of 3 BFFs. I call the Charlie's Angels. They're going to be with me on that cruise on the horizon on April 1st. So we will all see you together, but she cannot wait to meet you, as I cannot to officially. Well, I guess, like I said, we have been on a cruise together, but you weren't in the
Do
spot.
you have a meet and greet plan on the 1st?
What's that?
Do you have a meet and greet plan on the 1st?
I mean, not yet, not unless there's one scheduled with you, but we'll be happy to arrange something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say on embarkation, like if you pick a location, I'll stop by and say hey to everybody on the 1st. Like,
I'll tell you what I do have scheduled is on the 2nd day, April 2nd. I do a bar crawl on pretty much every cruise I do. So if you want to hit us at take a group picture with the bar crawl group on the Coach Cruise bar crawl, I'll definitely be cool with that.
Yeah, just hit me with a reminder, man.
Yeah,
it's a C day, but I'll find time. I'll come by and say hey to everybody. Everybody knows I'll come by and say hey to everybody. Yeah, for sure.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, hey, Cookie, I don't know what else you have left on the ship. You had mentioned earlier, I don't want to keep you if you got to run off,
Yeah, I'm going to go bring on Getaway Island show number 2 because it is now 9:10. But I have the White Night party tonight as well. But I thank y'all for this opportunity. Thank you. I can't wait to meet you. You all, Andrew, you've been amazing. Mark, you're outstanding as always. Y'all always take care of us cruise directors. So thank you for supporting us and loving us and just showing us in a positive light here at the Carnival family. So we hope to see everybody on a Cookie cruise or Lee or Kendall or, well, Donkey's been promoted now. So he's the big boss. But yeah.
All right. And I'll message you too, because I definitely want to do something with you,
for sure.
When we get on the cruise in April. So I'll definitely send you. But thank you again so much. I mean, honestly, for you to take, your break time in between shows and things like that to be with us for an hour was just amazing.
I don't mind.
Really, really.
I don't mind at all.
But
well, I'll see y'all on the cruise coming soon. Bring your party gear because there'll be no sleeping.
All right. Don't plan on doing it much.
Because they know my motto is don't worry about going to bed. Y'all can sleep when you're dead. We're here to have a good time. So that's all that matters.
We'll see you in about 24 days.
That's right, brother. I'll see y'all.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks again so much.
Bye, everybody in the chat.
All right. Take care, Cookie. All right. Well, that's about it, everybody. We went a little bit over, but, Cookie came on a little bit late. So that's why, I kept it going a little bit longer than normal. But and thanks so much for everybody in the chats and the super chats and everything. Congratulations to Christy, who won the T-shirt. And Christy, my messenger, so just feel free to shoot me a message. And then we still have Sherry, Kevin B, Frankie Floyd, Tim G, and Lito Tito. We're up to the first 40 for the next drawing of T-shirts or whatever, or the next drawing of a T-shirt for next week's show. And that will carry over to next week. I'm seeing so many people in here. We got Usnavi, Lito Tito, Travis and Alyssa, who were our guests last week. If you haven't seen that show, they are the couple that lived on the cruise ship. Andrew was in that show with me as well, asking questions. Will G, I think I mentioned earlier, Melissa, Fireball Steve, Christy, Mike Anthony, Mike Allen, and so many new people. I hope you've subscribed. I plan on doing more shows with more amazing cruise directors. We had Lee Mason 2 weeks ago. We had Cookie. Who knows who we get in the future? It's going to be tough to top them, though. It's obviously going to be tough to top them, but we'll do our best to bring you more entertainment. And thank you again so much to Mark from the Cruise World. Mark is on everything. He's on Instagram. He's on TikTok. He's on YouTube. He's on what else are you on, Mark? But he's got like 100,000 people on TikTok. It's amazing. Oh, your mic's off, Mark. Yeah, can I?
It cut out.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'll say it for him though. But if you haven't already subscribed to Mark on the Cruise World, I mean, just a few of the things he does. I mean, he does some amazing, the best cruise tours. I mean, just honestly, his tour. He has his video quality. He used to be in video. That's part of the reason why his video is so like just crystal clear and just perfect and everything else. And then he does a lot of video where he catches the pier runners and things like that on TikTok and stuff. So he's on basically any social media platform. So go check out the Cruise World. And then Andrew, since your mic is working, why don't you fill us in on everything you got going?
We do cruising with toddlers. That's a big topic on our channel. There's not a lot of information in regards to some of the struggles, but some of the amazing, things that we do with our son. We do instructional videos, shore excursions, vlogs, pretty much anything cruise related. We're on it. Not so much cruise news unless it's something big that I think I can add, a little something to. But we just have a great time. And we're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and that's about it, I think. But I just want to say, first of all, thank you, Coach, for inviting me. I had an amazing time getting to know Cookie. And Mark, I know your mic is off, but an awesome time speaking with you. Hopefully I can cruise with both of you here coming up shortly. Look forward to meeting you, Mark, and of course going on a famous pub crawl from Coach Cruise here shortly. So
yeah, you as well. I think I'm back, right?
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah. It was great finally meeting you, Andrew and Brad. Thanks again for having me, and thanks to everybody in the chat who gave the questions to Cookie and hung out with us. It's been great, great evening. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and Apalila, I think this is your first time, but thank you so much for all your great questions. And there was a number of first-time people. For all the first-time people, Macrina, I think you are first time as well. But I hope you subscribed to all three of us because hopefully we all put out some great content for you. But we appreciate you all coming on and sharing your comments and sharing the evening with us. And that's it until next week. And I don't have a guest lined up for next week yet, but let's see. We've taken off 2 of the top 5 of the best cruise directors of Carnival Cruise. So who are the other 3 remaining? John
Hill.
To get one of those.
Yeah, Donkey would be a good one to get a hold of, Coach, because he just got promoted to Fleet Cruise Director, so we could talk about that.
Well, I know Andrew's a big fan of Donkey, so maybe we'll have to go work on
that. He loves him.
I see Mama's J's. You just got here late. The good thing is you'll be able to see this on replay. It was a really fun show. Cookie's amazing. He lives up to the hype. For all of you that have not got to experience Cookie in person on a cruise ship, he definitely lives up to the hype. And you would love to see that. If you got on here late, make sure you check out the replay, and you will enjoy yourself watching that. So that's it. We ran off, and there's still 40 of you here. The 40 of you here, if you didn't happen to hit the like button yet for this show, on your way out, if you could hit that like button, and if you hadn't hit the subscribe button, hit that as well, and then do the same over at Andrew at Funnelheads and Mark at the Cruise World too, if you could. That would be a big thank you from all three of us, and we will see you all later. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Have a great night. I'll have a drink for you guys.
Yeah, we're jealous.